It's a DS in there,
It's a DS.
and they said DS is what? What did the DS do?
Let me scroll back up. DS reportedly removed video surveillance evidence of Henley and RW's presence at the studio hours before the homicide, namely all the security cameras and DVRs from the studio.
Click like. This clip from the Wack show gets into details on charges around the Luce Cannon Big U arrest. Wack reacts to the charges and adds more detail that we might have expected. Click subscribe and share your thoughts in the comments.
Luce gonna stay solid. Bear Claw and Hop. 3 out of the 7 gonna stay solid.
Yeah, he
What
cooked
Trap
then.
Mama got to
He
do with
cooked.
this?
What'd you say?
What Trap Mama got to do with this?
With her, I told her. I called the homie. I called the homie for P Funk who run the other Trap Kitchen truck and told him that she was cooperating. She been cooperating over a year or some shit.
It's told in the paperwork what she.
Damn.
Yeah, she was
Just about to give me some.
she was driving from LA to Vegas to she got this, is that called trafficking?
She pregnant too.
Yeah.
Say that Asian and that Mexican might be on the drug side, because you remember they found out them fentanyl pills.
Yeah, I don't know.
You don't
That's
know
what I'm saying. I can't tell you.
The paperwork is a lot in it.
I know it's a lot. He rolling through it. So look, we got everybody in there. How many people we got in this month? All right, we 629 deep. All right, let's keep it rolling. Let's keep it rolling, man. This indictment is a month. But you get a little tired. A-Rod, you still got audio. We can run back through the audio. Some people might didn't hear it. We got 2 separate audios. The one from the feds talking, the ones from the family talking. So if bro need a breather, we can get back to that. In the meantime, we're gonna let Prince keep cooking. Let's roll.
Let's get it, y'all. All right, we're on page 36, y'all. You already know where you at. You in the 100 show main flow. Let's get it. At approximately 1:13 a.m., surveillance footage at the Airbnb again revealed a dark gray or silver sedan arriving to the Airbnb. RW exited the passenger side of the vehicle and entered the Airbnb. A few minutes later, at approximately 1:20 a.m., RW exited the Airbnb with the suitcase, put the suitcase in the trunk, and got in the dark gray or silver sedan, which departed. The Airbnb, though, was rented for another day, and RW was not set to leave until a flight scheduled the following day. Both of Henley's phones did not begin reporting location data again until approximately 2:15 a.m. So his phone was off for an hour and 12 minutes. Both of his phones were turned off. Based on investigative test drives and research, the drive from the studio to the Airbnb would take roughly 17 minutes. After Henley's phone stopped reporting location data when they left the vicinity of the studio, the dark sedan arrived with RW at the Airbnb 15 minutes later, which is consistent with traffic patterns after midnight. The drive from the Airbnb to the location where RW's body was found, and then to the location where Henley's phones began reporting again, they actually have this part blocked out.
Oh, so you see what they did?
Mm-hmm.
Boy, he fucked up, baby. Not only did he cut it off, he cut it back on. So they was able what they call to triangle it. So what he cut it off, I guess, at the studio, wherever he was at, right?
Mm-hmm.
And he probably used somebody else's phone to see if they could track it, whatever the fuck, right?
Mm-hmm.
The locations, right? Once they seen it was gone, they saying he went to the Airbnb.
Mm-hmm.
They got the address of the Airbnb,
Mm-hmm.
right? So they see how much time it took there. And then from the Airbnb to where the body was dumped, right?
Mm-hmm.
On, guess he went back to the studio. So they're able to triangulate 15 minutes, 20 minutes, and whatever 15 minutes, right? So let's just say that's 50 minutes. So within a 50-minute time frame, your phone went off at this place and came back on at this point. He's thinking they're not gonna be able to see him go boom, boom, boom. But they didn't found out where he went, and that can only come from Sylvester.
That's a fact. And the other. Oh.
Hey,
I don't know who else was there.
hey, Wack, you good?
Talking
It's
about the
48
drivers.
minutes. You good?
What I tell you, it's right there.
You good?
The phone should have never came back on.
Exactly. We never caught that.
Stupid ass thought he was being smart.
I keep telling y'all he ain't smart. How long I been telling y'all that? You don't leave it off, leave it off.
Well, let's see how unsmart he is.
But let me see why. Now you do know they canceled the BlackBerry a couple years ago, right? And he moved to an app on the phone. And I guarantee you the reason why he had to cut it back on, because he got to stay available for that grid shit. I guarantee you that's why he was forced to cut it back on. That's a fact.
That's nasty word.
But I mean, I just ran the triangle. I didn't even know what it said. So you said it was 48 minutes?
48 minutes. What?
There you go. He's a bozo. Let's keep it.
Let's break it down. So based on the investigated test drives and research, the drive from the studio to the Airbnb would take roughly 17 minutes. After Henley's phone stopped reporting location data when they left the vicinity of the studio, the dark sedan arrived with RW at the Airbnb 15 minutes later, which is consistent with traffic patterns after midnight. The drive from the Airbnb to the location where RW's body was found, and then to the location where Henley's phones began reporting again, they have this part blocked out. Basically says it's 48 minutes. The approximate time for the drive, murder, and moving of the body, particularly in the middle of the night without traffic. One of Henley's phones then made a call to Robinson, who Witness 1 reported was still at the studio, which is corroborated by Robinson's phone location data. According to Witness 1, Robinson asked Witness 1 if he had seen Henley, which Witness 1 found odd since Robinson was Henley's driver and bodyguard. At approximately 2:30 a.m. or 3 a.m., Henley returned to the studio alone in the dark gray Lexus and spoke with Witness 1, who reported that Henley appeared to be drenched in either sweat or water. Henley told Witness 1 that he was coming back from the gym.
Slow down. Is Witness 1, they saying a female, or is that the security?
That's security. RW's body was found hours later at approximately 9 a.m. One of the detectives investigating the murder believed RW died at that location near the side of the road on I-15 after he observed the roadway contained a distinct patch of blood which trailed down the hill from the roadway into the desert along with the drag marks. Henley's phone location data shows that he departed Las Vegas to return to Los Angeles at approximately 10 a.m. Here's the evidence from the scene. Officers and medical professionals responded to the scene of RW's murder, and a subsequent autopsy found that RW died from multiple gunshot wounds. The responders noted that RW was not dressed for the weather, which was cold and inclement on the night of the murder. DNA was collected from RW's ankle sock area, consistent with the direction that RW was dragged into the desert off the highway. The DNA profile obtained was not complete, likely due to the aforementioned inclement weather on the night of the murder. Analysis of Henley's DNA profile was inconclusive, such that he could not be after the murder. Witness 3 went to the studio to fix video cameras that were not working at the studio. After Witness 2 called Witness 3 to fix them, Witness 3 analyzed the equipment and concluded the DVR system was unplugged or turned off. According to Witness 1, DS then sent him money to purchase new DVR equipment for the studio. I believe that there's probable cause to conclude that footage from the DVR system would have shown an altercation between Henley and RW on the night of January 24th, 2021. And at a minimum, Henley and RW leaving the studio together shortly before RW's murder. On January 27, 2021, detectives spoke with RW's family, which was the first time his family learned that RW had died. On January 28th, detectives again spoke with RW's family. Generally, his family confirmed that RW lived in California and worked as a musician. He was recently working with a music producer, Henley, who was also from California, and Henley had booked RW's Airbnb and travel. RW's family explained that RW was close with Henley and trusted him. Henley coached RW in football since RW was young. RW lived with Henley for a time while in high school. At some point, Henley believed RW had worn a chain that belonged to Henley's son to school without permission, and RW was kicked out of Henley's home. PM, RW's aunt, added that she called Henley on January 27, 2021, after learning RW had been killed. Henley claimed he had not seen or heard from RW and did not know his whereabouts. PM confronted Henley about arranging a trip for RW to record in Las Vegas, and then Henley admitted that he had done so. PM had overheard Henley speaking with someone named KF, whom investigators later interviewed. I don't know who KF is, Wack. About RW's travel arrangements. In a later interview, during the pendency of this investigation, PM said that Henley would call her on a weekly basis prior to the murder, but after that call on January 27, 2021, PM never again heard from Henley. Las Vegas PD also learned that a CA, a friend of RW, spent the week in Las Vegas and visited RW's Airbnb. According to the CA, at about 2 a.m. on Sunday morning, January 24th, 2021, Henley came to the Airbnb and asked RW why he did not show up to the music studio the day prior, January 23rd, 2021. RW claimed he did not have a ride to the studio. CA reported that it was odd that Henley actually took the time to show up at the Airbnb in Las Vegas to confront RW. CA and his family left for California Sunday afternoon, January 24th, 2021, at about 2 p.m., and CA had not heard from RW since. Through the entire investigation, the family members and friends who have been interviewed had pointed to Henley as a person they believed to be responsible for RW's murder. Within days, multiple people were sending Instagram messages to Henley demanding answers for what happened to RW, all of which went without response. Las Vegas PD searched RW's Instagram. RW's final Instagram message to Henley regarding the price of a song was sent on January 24th, 2021 at 1:57 p.m. Henley did not respond until January 26th at 8:14 a.m., almost 24 hours after Henley left Las Vegas following RW's murder. In the meantime, the evidence shows that Henley has seen RW at the studio the night of January 24th, 2021, after RW has sent that Instagram message, and Henley presumably would have discussed song at the time at all. That Henley sent the message on January 26th in an attempt to plead ignorance that RW was murdered and to avoid suspicion from law enforcement of his involvement in the murder. On February 3rd, 2021, Las Vegas PD conducted a recorded interview of KF, the person's RW's aunt heard Henley talking to about RW's travel arrangements on January 27th. I'm not sure who KF is at this point. KF, oh.
There you go. The mother just tapped in and said he's in custody. They notified the mom. Like I told you on the 100 side of the clubhouse, information rolls through. We get it. We discuss it. It's content. We in the metaverse in this. We got 698 people in here. I'm sorry, 706 people in here. I can't see the chat, but we're going to continue to keep the ball rolling They picked up 2 more people since since the room been running. It looked like Big U's the main one they picked up. Looks like from the Luce Cannon thing his wife picked up has shown that they've also picked up Luce Cannon from his YouTube channel. Um, um,
Hey, Queen. Salute. Next, we get into the Title III wiretaps. Y'all ready? Page 44. In 2023, after the Las Vegas PD attempted to interview parties about the murder, Henley and his associates made several inculpatory calls regarding the murder. So remember, inculpatory means that they made statements, right, that prove that they did something. Here's those statements. Let's get into it. What did they say? Henley and his associates made several inculpatory calls regarding the murder, which were intercepted by law enforcement pursuant to a Title III wiretap. First, Las Vegas PD went to Henley's home at Henley's. I'm not going to dox him. So, if you don't want me to, let me know. When he was not there. After leaving a business card and informing Henley's wife, S.H., that they were there following the 2-year anniversary of R.W.'s homicide. We're new to the case and we're just talking to everyone who was close to R.W. S.H. called Henley from Henley's father's phone. S.H. had not done this before during the entirety of the wiretap. Henley answered, "What's up, Dad?" Further showing the nature of the call. S.H. then explained that the detectives came by their home and were looking for him and talking to others. Henley asked how many officers, but was otherwise extremely circumspect. In the hundreds of hours of calls captured that the detectives had listened to, Henley's voice was notably and conspicuously different on this call. S.H. also lied to police, stating that Henley only lived at this one address sometimes. In actuality, the FBI observed on surveillance and in months of cell site location data that Henley was there most nights unless he was traveling. After the call, Henley did not return home for 2 weeks again, something he had not done during the entirety of surveillance or on-site location data received by law enforcement. Moreover, that night, Victim 1 paid an extortion fee to Robinson, who was driving Henley's Mercedes. Again, Robinson driving Henley's Mercedes was something that had not occurred before during the course of the investigation. Based upon the agent's training experience, they believe that Henley not returning home for 2 weeks and having one of his associates driving his car were attempts by Henley to avoid law enforcement regarding R.W.'s murder. On or about February 14, 2023, at approximately 12:05 p.m., Henley called Martin. During the intercepted call, Henley told Martin he wanted to meet with him at Martin's auto shop to discuss the police investigation into R.W.'s murder. The following is a transcript of their conversation. Here we go. Henley, 5 detectives went by my house this morning from Las Vegas, and you said they wanted to talk to me. You hear me? Martin says, yeah. Henley, probably let you know they was asking about R.W. and told, it says the static cuts out, 2-year anniversary. It was, they wanted to follow up and talk to everybody who was close. And where were you at? Martin says, I'm at the shop. Henley says, all right, I'm pulling up on you. Martin says, all right. Based on other intercepts, the agent knows that Henley believed the FBI may be intercepting his telephone calls. Therefore, he believed he wanted to meet Martin in person regarding the murder in order to avoid speaking on a telephone line that may be intercepted by law enforcement. Following the call to Martin, Henley immediately placed multiple calls to DS, the person who reportedly removed the video surveillance footage from the studio. The first few calls were not answered. Then Henley told DS he needed to meet with him. The following is a transcription of a portion of the conversation. Henley, where you at? DS, at the house, ready to jump in the shower. What you on? Henley, I need to pull up on you. DS, all right. I'm right here at the house. Henley, all right. I got to pull up on you. DS, how long are you going to be? Henley, you about to go nowhere, are you? Nah. Henley, okay. DS, I'll jump in the shower, though. Just ready, though. Henley, okay. DS, all right, for sure. As discussed above, DS reportedly removed video surveillance evidence of Henley and RW's presence at the studio hours before the homicide, namely all the security cameras and DVRs from the studio. On February 16, 2023, Henley was on the phone with DS. Henley told DS he was traveling to Las Vegas the following day where Witness 2 was located. On February 16th, 2023, Henley was on the phone with DS. Henley told DS he was traveling to Las Vegas the following day where Witness 2 was located. Las Vegas PD had begun interviews of witnesses regarding RW's murder, and I believe that Henley may have been going to Las Vegas to confront Witness 2 to see if he had talked to law enforcement. So we know Witness 2 is a he. On February 21st, 2023, Henley received a phone call from his son. Henley's son told Henley that Las Vegas PD called him about RW and suggested that detective had spoken to SH and Henley already. Henley told his son that nobody had spoken to him and that detectives directed him not to talk to anyone anymore about RW. That same day, Henley called SH to tell her that LVPD detectives had called their son about RW and what
Slow
was said.
down. He called who?
Henley called SH to tell her
That's his
that the
wife.
detectives had called their son about RW and what was said. Henley told SH to call LD. LD is the mother of KF. So I guess we know who KF is now, right? Henley told SH to call LD. LD is the mother of KF. Henley's employee who booked victims RW's travel arrangements and lied to investigators when questioned. So that's whoever is his manager doing Neek Music is KF. And LD is the mother of KF. Let me keep going.
LD's the mother of KF.
And KF is an employee who booked the victim's travel. They work for Unique Music as a manager.
Well, right. Oh, okay. This shit getting crazy. Oh, we got some shit for to get crazy. Let's keep going. We'll figure out who LDKF is in a minute, but we got to get to this juicy shit.
So it says during the course of the Title III interceptions, the investigator listened to multiple calls in which Henley directed those who wanted to discuss illegal activity to contact him on FaceTime or WhatsApp. I believe that Henley did so because those applications are encrypted, and Henley suspected that his phones were wiretapped at various times.
Hold on, slow down.
Mm-hmm.
It's a DS in there?
It's a DS.
And they said DS is what? What did the DS do?
Let me scroll back up. DS reportedly removed video surveillance evidence of Henley and RW's presence at the studio hours before the homicide, namely all the security cameras and DVRs from the studio. It says
DS. And this has something to do with the Williams boy?
Yeah. So that's the person that went to the studio and removed all the camera footage. And they're saying that the camera footage would have shown them scrapping inside the studio the day prior.
The day prior.
It's like the murder. It's like 12:01. So they're saying like that night, and then it goes to the next day, basically.
So what time they say the murder happened?
They said like 2 a.m. something like that.
Oh.
But
So
they
the
got
murder
him going.
2 hours after.
Yeah, they got them going back a couple days later, destroying all the footage and taking all the cameras and shit out of the studio.
Hey, Wack, look at
Okay.
your phone.
Now hold on. I know. What you talking about, Big U?
Nah, something else. Look at your phone.
Bricc baby involved.
Oh, we looked that up already.
Oh yeah, we know that. We went through it. We already know that.
I just want to text you that,
Keep it
Ghost.
moving, Ghost. Boy, you better. You need to stay grounded, Ghost. Stay grounded. Okay, let me. Oh, now this studio is this? Because I remember earlier they said something about a Grammy-nominated studio. Is this another studio?
This is the studio. Hold on. This is the studio in Vegas. Did they get the location?
Because I remember them saying a Grammy-nominated studio one. Or did he leave that and go to another location?
There's two studios, one that they own and one that they don't own that they're talking
Okay.
about.
Okay, I know who these people are.
Yeah, I
Let's
got you.
keep going. All right.
Let me scroll back up. Hold on.
He's gonna tell too.
Who? DS?
Yeah, DS gonna talk.
Oh, wait.
What you call it gonna pop up in here somewhere too. The restaurant lady son is coming.
All right. It says later that same day. No, all right, let me go back up. Yeah, basically they're just talking about how KF is Henley's employee who booked victim RW's travel. Right? They lied to investigators when they were questioned.
KS or DS?
KF. So
KF.
KF is Henley's employee who booked the travel for the victim. They work for Henley under Unique Music as a manager, and they're responsible for booking all of the travel for his artists. So that's KF. LD is KF's mom, right? And then DS is the one who went back to the studio and got rid of the evidence.
So they gonna arrest DS?
Unless he telling already.
Oh, he gonna tell that to weigh 100 pounds. He telling.
Oh.
Yep.
So next they go into the robberies, right? So now we're on page 48.
Hold on 1 second. Initials KF.
Mm-hmm.
And the mom is who?
LD.
KF. Mom is LD.
And that's who allegedly Henley told his wife to call LD. Call the mom of KF.
Told Stacy to call the mom of KF. Oh shit, wait. This is CEO. I got Dr. Umar's daughter online. She wanna tap in on your clubhouse. Let me know when you can talk. Shit. Whenever she ready.
Right now.
Now's a good
Right
time,
now.
isn't he?
I mean, we could take intermission to talk to Dr. Umar's daddy. Hold on. Y'all witnesses and witnessing in real time how Wack get shit. They sent it to me. Get mad at me. All right, let's keep rolling. Yeah, B. My floor appreciates me reading out loud the live text messages. Shit. All right, let's keep it rolling. I got somebody working on the initials. Let's keep it rolling.
robbery in violation of the Hobbs Act and as racketeering activity. According to witnesses, including victim one, and corroborated repeatedly by wiretap and recorded meetings with Big U Enterprise members, the Big U Enterprise sets up and executes robberies throughout Los Angeles. Normally, Henley provides the target and location while the robbery is committed by the Big U Enterprise or at the Big U Enterprise's direction using the Rolling 60s or other associates. The Big U Enterprise, as well as the individuals who personally commit the robberies, will take a cut and then often sell the robbery proceeds or give the robbery proceeds back to a victim as a power grab and to instill fear for future robberies of violence. One such robbery occurred on July 5th, 2021, at an unlicensed marijuana dispensary in LA area where victim one worked. Leading up to the robbery, the Big U Enterprise had been extorting victim one for years, and victim one had been paying the Big U Enterprise up to $25K per month when victim one was at the top of his earnings capacity. Shortly before the robbery, however, victim one has ceased paying extortion to the Big U Enterprise as victim one did not believe it was necessary or that he was receiving any benefit from the payments. On the day of the robbery, approximately 11 of the Big U Enterprise members and associates, including Robinson and Williams, both of whom victim one knew well as Rolling 60s members, rushed into the dispensary armed with firearms and without masks. They demanded belongings of anyone inside and stole cash and marijuana from the store before fleeing. At one point, they demanded a Rolex watch from one of the co-owners, but at Robinson's direction, they ended up letting him keep it. According to victim one, while still at the dispensary, they have a footnote in here. It says to satisfy the Hobbs Act commerce element, it is enough that a defendant knowingly stole or attempted to steal drugs or drug proceeds. For as a matter of law, the market for illegal drugs is commerce over which the United States has no jurisdiction. Okay. According to victim one, at one point they demanded a Rolex watch from one of the co-owners, but at Robertson's discretion, they ended up letting him keep it. According to victim one, while still at the dispensary, the robbers put victim one on the phone with Henley, who invited victim one to Henley's home. According to victim one, when victim one arrived at Henley's Arlington premises, Robinson, Williams, and other robbers were there, as well the proceeds of the robbery. Inside, Henley told victim one, "That's how you rob yourself." Henley then demanded $10,000 from victim one to ensure other robberies did not occur. Henley also directed victim one to identify other businesses or dispensaries that could be similarly robbed and assured victim one that the Big U Enterprise would compensate him for identifying any robberies. Henley then provided a portion of the robberies proceeds back to victim one. They have a footnote here. As stated below, victim one's account is corroborated in a consensually recorded conversation in which Henley and Robertson asked for robbery targets from victim one. So this is recorded, Wack. It says this modus operandi
The
is
female
corroborated.
name was LD, right?
LD, yes, sir. That was the mom of KF.
Okay, that's Lalani Dale. She's a board member.
Oh shit.
Spies is working. They didn't tap into his management records. So I don't know what she is, but she's a board member. Lalani Dale.
This is gonna get bad. So this is
Yeah.
they got so what I'm reading next, guys, Wack, is what they have on Wiretap, right?
Oh
This
yeah.
is
Yeah, I
all
know. The
so
Queen was just reading some of that shit. This shit finna get crazy.
we
Shit,
good?
I'm a star some of them lines. Hell yeah, let's go.
Let's go. Oh shit. This is not coming from me. I'm gonna say your name.
Man, I don't give a fuck.
I got you,
Nigga, ain't
nigga.
nobody bigger than the God.
I
Nigga, we
got you on
got
the
the
show.
God shit. Let's go.
I got you, dog. All right.
Mr.
Williams
Green.
later admitted to this robbery and the aftermath on a podcast. On the No Jumper podcast, after stating that Williams was Henley's right-hand man, Williams explained, so basically, he'll manipulate things. We'll go and do something. And then the same niggas we do it to show up to the house like 10 minutes later as we're trying to count everything. And we'd be like, how the fuck? Williams then said that Henley would state, well, we just going to give him like 40,000 back. Wack 100, who is a rival counterpart of Henley's for the Bloods, was also on the podcast and stated, you know why he wanted to give the dude back the 40, right? Because he was going to make the dude give him 20 for getting it back. Williams then agreed. Of course, he did that. He did it to two famous rappers. Williams then detailed demanding 50,000 from the celebrity rapper RR, or they would kill celebrity rapper MM. So we can assume that's Rick Ross and Meek Mill. Williams then said Rick Ross dropped off the 50,000 and Henley stopped answering the phone and then did not share any of the proceeds with Williams. According to further No Jumper and Vlad TV segments, Henley then served a cease and desist order on No Jumper, and this podcast episode was removed from the platform, although a recording of the episode remained available elsewhere online. Want me to stop there?
Hey, bro, read the shit. Nigga, don't skip nothing.
Williams' recounting of this robbery occurred years after the robbery of Victim 1's dispensary and years after Victim 1 had already recounted and documented the robbery for the FBI. So Victim 1 already recounted and documented the robbery for the FBI.
Victim
Lately,
1
Williams...
already didn't cooperated.
That's what it says. And documented the robbery for the FBI.
Okay, what robbery we talking about? Are we talking about the marijuana?
Yeah, the dispensary.
The dispensary robbery, yep.
That's Dale. That's Dale, nigga named Monster.
You got
Dale,
that?
I'm sorry. You ratting. That's Dale. Go ahead. Let's keep it going.
Lately, Williams has claimed in multiple interviews that he is no longer affiliated with Big U, whom he now refers to as Big Useless or Big Uterus. However, Williams
yo,
They put that shit to
That's
work.
fucking crazy,
yo,
yeah.
this
That's
nigga right
fucking
here.
crazy, yeah.
Yo, this shit diabolical. Go ahead, bro. God damn, let's go.
I end up on the news clip. However, Williams continues to discuss former Big U enterprise businesses, to discuss and threaten violent assaults and robberies, and to actually commit the same. For example, on January 3rd, 2025, outside of the No Jumper podcast filming location in LA, Williams struck the victim in the head multiple times with a firearm and pointed a firearm at the back of his head, while two other suspects removed valuables from the victim, including jewelry, cash, and a cell phone, an excess value of $5,000. The victim lost consciousness during the incident, which was captured on video and posted to social media, apparently to stoke fear and boast of Williams' pen for violence. After the incident, Williams posted a 7-minute video on his YouTube channel discussing the beating, stating that he used to be Big Useless' enforcer, and that he loves to fight, and that the incident could have been a lot worse. Williams' post also played a portion of the assault. Similarly, on February 25th, 2025, Williams posted a video on his YouTube channel in which he threatened anyone that is at odds with him to do something bad to you, your mama, your daddy, anybody. In that same video, Williams walked through the checking in process and walked through the fact that he would rob any celebrity who did not check in, including at an Airbnb, a restaurant, a car wash, or anywhere. Williams also said that he was with Henley when rapper Rakim Hashim Allen, aka PNB Rock, was robbed and killed. That they told him to, this part is blacked out, that they told him to, and that they would get the jury later.
Wait, slow down. I've never heard that.
That's wild.
Hold on. I've never heard him
What
talk.
the?
You want me to back up?
I've never heard Luce Cannon. First of all, they already know who robbed PNB Rock. That ain't had nothing to do with Big U or him. So where did that come? Where did they get that? He said that from.
Let me back up. Let me read it again. Similarly, on February 25th, 2025, Williams posted a video on his YouTube channel in which he threatened anyone that is at odds with him to do something bad to you, your mama, your daddy, anybody. In that same video, Williams walked through the checking in process and walked through the fact that he would rob any celebrity who did not check in, including at an Airbnb, a restaurant, a car wash, or anywhere. Williams also said that he was with Henley when rapper Rakim Hashim Allen, aka PNB Rock, was robbed and killed, that they told him to blank and that they would get the jury later.
Okay, that don't make sense. So he said this on his channel?
That's what it says.
What was the date? February what?
February 25th.
February 25th. Somebody go get that.
That don't make sense because Big U had no involvement. That shit on the east side. Let's get that straight.
Yeah, it says walk through the kidnapping of it says also walk through the kidnapping of a famous rapper that Williams and Henley committed together, and then discuss several Big U Enterprise associates being good in LA because they have checked in. Some of those mentioned were let me see. I don't see where he goes.
Yeah, he ain't had nothing to do with that PNB shit. I don't know.
That's wild.
Yeah, I'm finding that hard to believe he said that. Like, I mean, shit. Both the people been convicted. The father and son.
It says, according to Williams' statements in a publicly available online video, he kidnapped the victim, put him in the trunk of his car, and drove him to Henley's home. Okay.
He said that on a video?
Yeah, it says, according to Williams' statements in a publicly available online video, he kidnapped the victim, put him in the trunk of his car, and drove him to Henley's home. So that's what he's talking about. He kidnapped a famous rapper that Williams and Henley committed together, and then discussed several Big U associates being good in LA because they did check in.
But he didn't put no name on it.
He put no name on it. Doesn't look like.
So they're trying to paint the picture that he's part of the empire.
Right.
Okay, I got it. Let's keep rolling.
All right. It says in February 2025, Williams also took part in a filmed conversation with multiple people on YouTube in which Williams told another participant that you will lose your life. And then when Williams found him, Williams was going to do something bad to him. Throughout this investigation, the FBI obtained many recordings of Big U Enterprise members and associates discussing robberies that they were committing or planning to commit. For example, on August 6, 2021, on a recorded call, Robinson told Victim 1, trying to lick somebody that ain't even hard. All this shit is just, this ain't working, man. I'm like, man, I'm in the wrong business, homie. In my training and experience and investigation to this case, lick is consistent used as a slang for robbery. On June 22nd, on another recorded call, Robinson told Victim 1 that Henley had been asking Robinson if they needed to do a takeover, which I know based on my training, experience, and participation in the investigation to mean a takeover robbery of Victim 1 at his marijuana dispensary again, because Victim 1 had not paid his extortion payments. Then on July 9th, 2022, Henley told Victim 1, we gotta rob someone. You with that bullshit. On July 31st, 2022, Henley told Victim 1 that Henley needed $30,000 to pay his development options staff and was considering a robbery and increased extortion to obtain the funds. Henley was also intercepted on a telephone call telling an auto shop owner that Henley knew how much he had paid the shop owner because the payments was proceeds of a robbery. In other Title III wiretap interceptions, the agent also heard Henley planning a robbery of individuals that had stolen equipment from a celebrity rapper. Using an Apple AirTag...
Wait, did you say an Asian?
Say one time?
Did you say something about an Asian?
No.
Oh, okay. I thought you said Asian. And I'm trying to figure out who this Asian dude is on this Rico. Go ahead.
In other Title III wiretap interceptions, the agent also heard Henley planning a robbery of individuals that had stolen equipment from a celebrity rapper. Using an Apple AirTag that was with the equipment, Henley Martin, and other individuals obtained firearms and began to stage the robbery to get back the equipment. However, when they arrived, the police also arrived, having been called by the celebrity rapper. They witnessed the staging of the robbery on a surveillance before it was called off. So they witnessed the staging of the robbery on a surveillance before it was called off. On November 11th, 2022, on another intercepted call, Mitchell, discussed above, and Henley coordinated. So this was on an intercepted call, right? Zaire Mitchell, Bricc Baby, and Eugene Henley coordinated how Mitchell would give Henley the proceeds from a robbery that Mitchell committed. Henley and Mitchell were talking about how much money should go to Henley. Then, in multiple other intercepted calls and text messages, Henley talked with Blanton and Robinson to help Henley collect from Mitchell's associate. Talking about Mitchell, Blanton said, they robbed a nigga for some shit. They made a nigga call his plug and then they booked him. Talking about further spending the proceeds. Henley told Blanton, I'm gonna grab half of that, whatever he got them. I'm gonna give it to Vay, and Vay can bring the rest for you. It says Vay is Robinson's moniker. You got that, Wack? Vay is Robinson? You may know that.
No, Vay is Sylvester Robinson.
Yeah, it says right here, it says Vay is Robinson's moniker.
Yeah, okay. Vay is Mr. Belvedere. He drives him around everywhere.
Got you. Right.
He drives him everywhere, yeah.
So it says, on a subsequent call, the agent heard Henley counting out the money and saying that it ain't nothing but 2 to 3 racks. Blanton responded, Bricc Baby said it was supposed to be between 5 to 7, man. Gotta make that call out to Bricc, man. On April 22nd.
Wait, who is Blanton? Hold on.
Blanton's in the works.
Let's who the Blanton is. Baby, where's your picture? Who is Blanton? Let's see. Is Blanton? Oh, I know who Blanton is. Okay. Can you go back a little bit? Let me follow this. So, this is a robbery. So, it's Blanton, Bricc, and who?
And Bricc, Eugene Henley.
Okay, all right, go ahead.
So, Bricc Baby said it was supposed to be, this is on a call, right? Bricc Baby said it was supposed to be between 5 to 7, man. Gotta make that call out to Bricc, man. April 11, 2023, Henley and Blanton again discussed an individual who was supposed to be robbed in the near future. So they got him on a call talking about robberies. Let's see. A significant portion of Big U's enterprise consists of various extortion schemes checking in. See what else? Let's see. One of its extortion victims, Victim 1, was a promoter and marketer who profited from club promotions, operating in interstate commerce, and worked for legal or quasi-illegal marijuana dispensaries, as shown in recorded conversations and controlled payments. Henley and Robinson were quite open in their threats of violence and intimidation if the victims did not pay the Big U enterprise. As stated above, the July 5th, 2021 robbery was a key to their scheme of extorting Victim 1, in that once Victim 1 stopped paying extortion fees to the Big U enterprise, they robbed him to reinstate their control. At one point, Victim 1 asked in a recording what he was paying for, and Robinson explained that it was like they state that Bricc Baby is one of Mitchell's monikers. At one point, Victim 1 asked in a recording what he was paying for, and Robinson explained that it was like a retainer, and that if and when Victim 1 was robbed, Victim 1 would not have to pay extra money to the Big U enterprise for the return of his property. Of course, as discussed above, it was Big U enterprise members and associates who were the ones who had robbed Victim 1. And they did charge Victim 1 for giving his things back by not returning the entirety of the property they themselves stole and demanding more money and targets to rob. The evidence supporting the Big U Enterprises extortion activities includes consensual recordings made by Victim 1 of phone calls. So, consensual recordings made by Victim 1 of phone calls. So, Wack, Victim 1 recorded all those phone calls. Meetings and controlled extortion payments. Statements describing being a victim of the extortion scheme from Victim 1. Title III wiretap calls discussing extortions and payments. And threats made to other individuals on Title III wiretap calls showing the modus operandi of the Big U Enterprise extortion racket. Examples of some of the extortion-related recordings obtained from this investigation include control payments with the FBI's involvement are bolded. 4 days after Big U Enterprise robbed Victim 1, as discussed above, consensually monitored calls of Victim 1 in which Robertson tasked Victim 1 with identifying additional robbery victims for Henley and Robertson, where Victim 1 would receive 25%, and noting that Henley was discussing that Victim 1 owed Henley money, having only paid a portion of what he owed. Another recording call in which Henley stated that any payments that Victim 1 receives from another person he extorted must be paid to Henley. Another call in which Robertson told Victim 1 that Robertson needed to tell Henley something about the amount of money that Victim 1 would be paying to Henley, and Victim 1 said he would pay $500 to $1,000. Another recorded call in which Robertson asked Victim 1 what he has for Henley, and Robertson discussed how much Victim 1 can pay, but ultimately promised to cover for Victim 1 and allow him to pay the following day rather than face Henley's anger. Another recorded call in which Henley and Victim 1 discussed how much money would go from any event to Henley, the Rolling 60s, Robertson, and Victim 1. Henley stated that he wanted his money later in the day. Victim 1 and Robertson discussed how Victim 1 was being taxed by Robertson and Henley. Another call, we discussed another extortion victim was not paying Henley what he was owed because DC was conducting business in Los Angeles. So, on 9/23/2021, Wack, we have
You say DC?
so this is different, right?
Yeah,
So
no, that's the same promoter. DC's his
right,
partner.
but check this part out, Wack. Up until this point, these are all consensually recorded calls, right? On 9/23/21, you have a consensually monitored call in which Henley discussed how another extortion victim, i.e., DC, was not paying Henley what was owed because DC was conducting business in LA. So, monitored call means what? Recorded call means what?
I don't know. Monitor call means nigga you calling in knowing it's hot. That's it.
And that's between Henley and DC.
So he's lining is DC going against the Victim 1, which is Monster?
Well, could somebody be
Do they
wearing a wire Wack?
Hey,
do they have
that
an issue?
I'm thinking this is a wire, Wack.
yeah, but that monitor mean it's probably an agent listening on that
Is
hoe or something,
Yeah,
huh?
with a
nah,
wire
because we
That's
got
what
or
I'm thinking. It's
we got to
monitored.
record it. Monitored is one of them working.
it was a
So
bug
Yeah,
in there.
so
yes, they listening.
I say monitor
how are they
being.
referring to the party promoters? Victim 1?
They say a monitor call
Victim
is
1,
involves supervisors
Oh,
listening.
slow down. Victim 1 is what? Is the that's how
party promoter.
they party promoter. DC is the promoter out of Dallas. He out of Texas, right? Houston, Texas. Everybody go to strip clubs, they know who DC is.
DC, yeah.
Yeah. But so I'm trying to figure out. You got who's talking to DC? Big U?
Big U and Robinson. Robinson is talking to Victim 1 more than Henley's talking to Victim 1.
Yeah. That's he gonna pass it off. So DC is DC. I'm trying to figure. Hold on, bro. Robinson. Who the Robinson?
That's
Oh, that's
Sylvester.
Vay. That's Vay.
That's right.
Okay, yeah, that Vay and Victim 1 is the same. They both the same temperament.
Okay.
DC. So who's talking to DC? Big U?
So right now we have a consensually monitored call in which Henley discussed how another extortion victim was not paying Henley what he was owed. So this has to be a wire somewhere.
DC Wired.
Is he talking to DC? Let me see. This is the monitored call in which Henley discussed how another extortion victim. It says IEDC was not. He's talking about IE. The victim is DC. Doesn't say he's talking directly to DC. Let me keep going. DC was not conducting business. So the next one is a recorded call in which Henley stated that he was just taking over the account, referring to DC, and that he will be taking every fifth table that is sold at DC's club. So that's a
Every fifth
recorded call
table.
again. Every fifth table at DC's club, he's taking over.
So
Another, okay,
he's telling somebody this. He ain't telling DC this.
no, it's a recorded call.
Okay.
But the
So
only
for 20
recorded calls are coming from victim one. Right.
victim one. That's Dale. Dale already, huh? What'd you say?
Talking to myself.
Is that loose lips?
I said juicy lips.
Oh, you talking about your lips?
Yeah.
Yeah, I know they are. I told you that. Okay, Dale, which is Monster.
Oh,
Dale and
shit.
Monster, same person. He's a party promoter. That's victim one. He already working. We
Okay.
know he working.
We got him.
Go ahead. So Big U's talking to somebody else about the play he's gonna run on DC is what this paperwork saying.
We got it.
So that means whoever Big U talking to is wired.
He's wired with it. So that went to the Queen asking about that Title III communication.
Let's keep it. We trying to figure out who he's talking to.
Okay, here we go. We got some more. So next we got a recorded call in which Henley asked victim one, why was he on the phone with him when he was coming to pick up his money right now? They didn't discuss how much will be paid electronically and how much in cash. Later that day, Robinson provided victim one with the number to pay an associate Tubbs for Henley. So who's Tubbs? Next, you have a recorded call in which Henley told victim one to get a cannabis shop up and running for him to pay some rent. You have another recorded call in which Robinson told victim one to give Henley a weekly salary of $1,000. Robinson further advised that victim one gets in trouble when promising larger amounts. Robinson also asked victim one where DC lived because he and Henley were trying to DC up based on his non-payment referenced above. So Robinson also asked victim one where DC lived because he and Henley were trying to DC up based on his non-payment referenced above.
What the is wrong with Vay? Oh man, they
I
got
don't
Vay
think
here.
they moving like
They moving like he the consigliere.
that's what I'm saying. He moving.
He called and talk about where DC live because me and Big U try to f him up for non-payment. That ain't even Vay. This shit is hilarious. Go ahead. This is crazy.
All right.
Oh
The
yeah, I'm listening.
FBI provided $500 in cash for the meeting, and victim one paid that money to Henley. They set him up with the whoa.
Oh, so that's Dale. Dale really working. Jeez.
The FBI provided $500 in cash for the meeting, and victim one paid that money to Henley. Next recorded call, in which Robinson asked how much money victim one had for Henley. And well, I think he's going to want at least $1,000. Another recorded call in which Robinson asked victim one how much he will have. They discussed both cash and electronic payments the following day. They continued a similar discussion regarding $1,000 to $2,000 in payments. Another recording call in which Robinson arranged a meeting that was also recorded. So another recorded call in which Robinson arranged a meeting that was also recorded. The FBI provided $1,000 in cash that victim one paid to Robinson for Henley.
Whoa, this nigga Dale was all the way out there. And Robinson
In the
is Vay.
discussion,
Dale was all the way out there.
You sound like me earlier.
Yo, this nigga was all the way out there. And Vay, your ass, that's why he told on the murder. Vay gave up all the details on the murder because he had all this shit right here. They had him dead bang with conspiracy. You dead bang with it, bro. You nigga, you making the calls and trying to find this because Vay ain't did a day in jail, bro. Vay gotta be like 55, 57. He ain't did a day in jail. Man, they telling him about you, boom, boom, boom. He finna hurry up and tell.
Yep.
Yeah, let's keep it moving. This is getting wild. Damn, took you to read this. Let's keep it going. I
I'm
don't
do
know
what
where
I
you
do,
got this
right?
paper, bro. I don't know where you
Wow, Wack.
where
Hey,
you
This is
got
goddamn
this.
nothing
Booty in
yet.
the room.
Yeah. But DC do a
Mm.
lot of party promoting down here too. Let's keep it going, man. Damn, this is crazy.
Another recorded call. Now we're in 2022, y'all, in which Robinson arranged a meeting that was also recorded. The FBI provided $1,000 in cash that Victim 1 paid to Robinson for Henley. In the discussion, Victim 1 discussed how Henley took the entire $30,000 from Deja Vu, which is discussed further below in connection with Henley, Robinson, and Martin, extorting $30,000 on December 2nd, 2021. Robinson explained to Victim 1 that he was taking way more than that and discussed Henley's spending after receiving payments. Another recorded call in which Victim 1 requested an extension from Robinson regarding a payment. Robinson told Victim 1 that he'd been holding Henley off and that Henley had been asking for Victim 1's payment. The FBI provided $1,000 in cash that Victim 1 paid to Robinson on camera for Henley. They had him on camera accepting it too. Another
Yeah, he
recorded
gonna
call.
tell. They got you locked in with the extortion.
He said he gonna tell.
I know, babe. He
Baby
he gonna tell. Yo, nigga, the feds is giving them the money. Where Ghost at? Let me
This
see
is
if Ghost
wild,
can
bro.
grab this though.
Yo,
Ghost, okay, Ghost. You hearing what's going on, right?
hell yeah.
Now, we hear the extorting and we hear the lineup going on. But what else do you hear?
Dale is working like a
We know that.
motherfucker,
We
bro.
know they're working. We know the feds is giving Dale the police the money and all that. But what else do you hear? What have I been telling y'all? We kept going through all this for $1,000. That's a
Facts.
proof.
Yeah, he broke his hell.
$500?
500, 1,000. He pressing for 500 in a rack.
Talking about he
This
trying to
ain't
find out stay at about $500 and $1,000
in
payments.
$1,000. All right, let's keep it going.
God damn.
Another recorded call in which Eugene Henley called Victim 1 and said, "Bring me. I need 1,500 real quick." Victim 1 told Henley that he had just paid Robinson $1,000 2 days prior. Another recorded call in which Robinson told Victim 1 that Henley was increasing Victim 1's taxes to $3,500. Another recorded call in which Robinson told Victim 1 that other individuals were paying the Big U Enterprise $2,500 to $3,000 so that Henley could purchase a $30,000 necklace for his wife's birthday. It's bad work. Another recorded call in which Robinson told Victim 1 that Henley wanted to collect $2,000 from him every Monday. Another call in which Henley told Victim 1 that he needed a donation for his wife's birthday. Victim 1 told Henley he had already paid Robinson, and Henley responded that his math was wrong. Another recorded call in which Robinson and Henley demanded that Victim 1 stop doing business with the Big Use Enterprise Robert Wack 100 because he was a rat. Robinson told Victim 1 that... Sorry.
Slow down. Go back. This is what I told y'all I booked the show. Did all this shit happen? Remember I told y'all I booked the show with the nigga? Sada baby. Yo,
Right.
come back and come run that back. I'll keep it up with it. So they like 2021 right now. It's got to be 2021-ish. It's COVID is happening right now. 2021, 2022. Let's keep it moving. Yeah, let's run
Yeah.
that.
So now it says Robinson told Victim 1 that Henley had been asking for money from Victim 1 and that Henley asked if they needed to do a takeover of Victim 1 as they had with the previous armed robbery of Victim 1's marijuana dispensary. Another recorded call in which Robinson told Victim 1 that Henley was angry and needed 2 racks for him. Another recorded call in which Henley demanded money from Victim 1. Henley told Victim 1 that he needed the money for taxes and EDD. Huh? Now we're in July 2022. Another recorded call in which Henley told Victim 1 that he needed $30,000 in the next couple of weeks to pay his developing options staff and was considering a robbery and increased extortion payments to obtain the funds. Big U specifically said he did not care if they had to rob Peter to pay Paul. They need to get down, which is the slang for robbery. Victim 1 then paid $1,500 of his own money on camera. Henley said we bumped the weekly down to $1,500. Victim 1 paid Robertson $1,500 from the FBI on camera. Robertson and Victim 1 discussed the history of payments Victim 1 had made to Henley, and that Robertson, according to Robertson, did all the work. Henley then arrived at the location. Another recorded call in which Robertson told Victim 1 he needed money, followed by Robertson consulting on Victim 1's anxiety and fear of Henley, how Victim 1 can get more time to make the payment, and how to calm Henley down by paying a portion of what he is owed. Another recorded call in which Robertson asked what time Victim 1 would meet for money. Victim 1 then paid Robertson $2,000 of FBI-provided funds on camera. During the conversation, Victim 1 asked what he was paying for. Robertson said, if anybody come rob you, you ain't gonna pay extra money to get your shit back. Robertson described it as a street shield. Victim 1, though, has told agents that only Robertson and Henley have robbed him. Damn. In the same meeting, Robertson told Victim 1 that Henley was the buffer and that Henley was only OG, still actively killing people. Now we're in September 2022. Another recorded call in which Robertson asked Victim 1 for his location so they could get the payment out of the way. Victim 1 then paid Robertson $1,000 of his own money on camera. Another recorded call in which Robertson arranged to meet Victim 1 for payment. Victim 1 then paid Robertson $2,000 of his own money on camera. Another recorded call in which Robertson told Victim 1 that if he was not in the middle of Victim 1 and Henley, it would be very, 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 very bad. Robertson also stated that there are two people that owe the Big U Enterprise $200,000, and Robertson had yet to threaten them. Another recorded call in which Robertson wanted to pick up payment for Henley. Victim 1 then paid Robertson $2,000 FBI provided on camera. That's a lot of money being paid on camera, y'all. Another recorded call in which Henley chastised Victim 1 because someone associated with Victim 1 stated that he was working with Henley. Henley told Victim 1 that Victim 1 had to pay Henley for Victim 1's associate using his name. Victim 1 told Henley that he had nothing to do with it and questioned how to get the money from him. Henley repeatedly said to tie him up if that was necessary, but that Henley would not get involved. In the same call, Henley said if Victim 1 paid his rent, he would let him off for the weekly tax payment.
We got content.
What's up, Wack?
Hold on. I'm with my family. Talk to my sons. I talk to everybody, man. I'm just saying, going to deal with this fight, see what it is. I just want to try to know. All this stuff is quagmire. Shit is all bull crap. I just need y'all prayers. I need y'all. I don't even know what to say. Now, 21 years, I elevated my family. Come back, sit in here and write and do what I need to do until I can come back home. People are supposed to help me. I hope you help me. You can't, you don't worry about it. A lot of stuff y'all hearing is straight trash. I appreciate the love and I appreciate people who've been helping me. I don't know. It's hard helping black people and not being hunted for doing it.
First Street, it might be to, I don't know if it's to the right or the left.
Reach out to anybody who can help me, y'all.
You hear me?
Help my own family. Appreciate y'all. Go. This is my last video before I turn myself in. I'm with my family.
talk to my sons, I talk to everybody, man. I'm just saying, gonna deal with this fight, see what it is. I just want y'all to know, all this stuff is quagmire. Shit is all bull crap. I just need y'all prayers. I need y'all. I don't even know what to say. 21 years, I elevated my family. Come back, sit in here and write and do what I need to do until I can come back home. People are supposed to help me. I hope you help me. If you can't, you don't worry about it. A lot of stuff y'all hearing is straight trash. I appreciate the love and I appreciate people who've been helping me. I don't know. It's hard helping black people and not being hunted for doing it.
First Street, it might be to, I don't know if it's to the right or the left.
Like I said, we on 100. Going through the paperwork. We gonna content as it continues to content. Shit, I'm gonna always hit my phone. My phone is lighting up, so we got one of the exposers, Prince, reading the paperwork, the documents, the indictment paperwork. That was a video posted by Big U on his way of turning himself in. So I think he's already in custody. Let's keep it moving.
Let's get it, y'all. Victim 1 paid Robinson $2,000 on camera. $640 was Victim 1's own money. Robinson told Victim 1 that Robinson was taking 25 to 50% of the payments to Henley, depending on the amount. Robinson then quoted Henley as saying that Robinson was getting soft with Victim 1, that Henley was going to fuck up Victim 1, and that Robinson was the only one saving Victim 1. Henley called Victim 1 and stated that Victim 1 owed Henley a lot of money and to bring $2,000 weekly. Victim 1 paid Robinson $500 of his own money on camera. March 2023. Victim 1 paid Robinson $1,500 of FBI provided money on camera. Robinson said he was going to tell Henley that Victim 1 only paid him $1,000. Now we get into the actual Deja Vu Club incident. Additionally, Henley, Robinson, and Martin extorted Victim 2. Now we're on to Victim 2 at Deja Vu, an international adult entertainment club at a location in LA on December 2nd, 2021, which Robinson and Victim 1 later discussed on a recorded call on January 20th, 2022. As corroborated by recordings and interviews with Victim 1, as well as public social media posts, Big U organized a birthday party at Deja Vu for himself and negotiated that he would receive roughly 30% of the bar proceeds from that night. Henley also promised that famous rappers would attend. He later then demanded the full profits from the night and threatened extreme violence if he was not paid the entire amount. Specifically, on December 2nd, 2021, on another recorded call, Henley called Victim 1 to discuss the extortion payment related to Henley's birthday party at Deja Vu. Victim 1 previously promoted Deja Vu and had initially connected Victim 2, the new promoter. So Victim 2 is the promoter for Deja Vu, which Henley about having Victim's birthday party there. Victim 2 had agreed to pay Henley $30,000 in exchange for celebrity rappers, including Cameron Jabril Thomas, a.k.a. Wiz Khalifa, and Clifford Joseph Harris Jr., a.k.a. T.I., as well as other famous guests to accompany Henley to Deja Vu for his birthday on December 2nd, 2021. Deja Vu promoted the event on social media using Wiz Khalifa's image, which would bring in more customers who wanted to party with famous celebrities. The following is a transcription of the portion of the conversation between Victim 1 and Henley the day of the party. Victim 1: I was trying to get to you about 20,000. Big U, 30,000. Victim 1, I sold it for 30, the whole thing for 30. And I got to get all the people. Henley, 30,000. Cuz this shit is viral. It's all over the city. Got me into my wife and with everybody else. And that's the number you told me? Victim 1. But if Wiz don't come, Big U, yelling at Victim 1. Nigga, I wouldn't give a f. I tear that shit up. It won't be a club in that bitch no more. You don't tell me if Wiz don't come, nigga. Victim 1. But it's what I sold. Big U, I want to get. You knew T.I. was never gonna come. And T.I. said he was not getting dropped. So that's one Vay. So that's on Vay. If he ain't gonna get it, that's on you and Vay. I don't want to hear nothing. You ain't gonna use my name. You need to bring me that money now. Victim 1. I'm getting it from Tubbs. And then later on, like 2 or 3 hours, they're gonna let me borrow some money. Big U. Matter of fact, I'm gonna have my niece. Hold on. They don't say her name. It says, matter of fact, I'm gonna have my niece and them to come and get it. Later in that call, Victim 1 and Henley discussed the club and the revenue Victim 2 was expected to earn from the event. Henley described his expectations for the event and said there were going to be 5,000 6-0s in this. 5,000 6-0s in this that's going to be pulling up. If we got the tier, be ready for that. Be ready for that. Bring me my money. They got a little footnote. Based on his experience, he's saying that 6-0s are 60 members. We know that at this point, right? All right. The night of December 2nd, 2021, Henley, Robinson, Martin, and countless Big U Enterprise associates showed up to the Deja Vu. Wiz, T.I., and other promised guests did not arrive as promised. Victim 1 watched as Robinson, Martin, and 3 other associates took Victim 2 into a back room and extorted $30,000 from him before returning to the main room to party.